sure the stream is active. Just showing the go. Okay. Looks like there's a bit of a delay in getting everything launched up. 7 Days to Die is not for the faint of heart, but it's also quite a relatively fun game. You can see I've got more than a few hours in most of my games that I've played so far. But let's start with this map that I've been using. That is in meters, so this is a 10 kilometer by 10 kilometer map. So it's relatively important to keep that in mind. This just means this world will be huge. Difficulty, you can adjust this right here, and it will affect everything that happens over here. Primarily the level of enemies that you go with. Let's go for my favorite level of difficulty, Survivalist. And I'm going to make one big change here. You can choose the length of the day. I'm going to go with a 90-minute day. What this means is it will give me a bit more time during the daylight hours for collecting resources, but it will also mean that when zombie horde nights start up, which they do every 7 days, so every 7th night, whatever base I've built will get attacked relentlessly. Well, just means that the fight will go on for that much longer. Now, if I really wanted to make this painful, I would max that out, but I think for right now we'll stick with 90 minutes. The default is 60 minutes, which means for every hour in real life is one in-game day. This is server information, and I'm not going to have it do a server. Blood moon frequency, this is the horde. Every 7 days. You could change the duration of those days, give yourself warnings for them. This is just a couple of thunderclaps. Zombie speed. This is the one that is really careful. You need to be careful with. If you play with this, you will get killed very quickly. So at night, zombies will run. They can move very quickly. During the day, not so much, with the exception of certain zombies. But we'll get to that when we encounter them. Along here, we've got the ability for you to adjust damage. Let's see, what's the default for this one? I guess 30 days. This means that if you open a container with some loot that you've been taking out of a house, in 30 days, that container will respawn. Let's not really change anything except marking of the airdrops, because I'm going to be perfectly honest, these things in a large map can be a pain to find. And we don't need to worry about too much about multiplayer, because this isn't going to be on multiplayer. So, with that said, blood moon count, we can up this to 10 enemies, all the way up to 64, at which point in time, no matter whatever defenses I build, I'm getting overwhelmed. I think I'll leave it at 12. And that means there's a bit more enemies attacking me during a blood moon, but at the same time, it just means I have to engineer my way through that particular challenge. So with that said, let's name this. Challenge Zombies. I'll call it version 1. FVB. Alright, and we'll start. Part of the reason why I chose a map I had already played on is this process of loading the map takes a long time when it's creating the world for the first time. But if you've already played on the map, this is relatively quick. With that said, it won't be all that significant to have a huge world at our fingertips. Now, as you can see right here, we've got a kind of an inn, and we've got a nice lumberjack zombie right here in a snowy biome. This is really significant because in this game there are 5 different biomes. Technically 6 if you count the border, but we're not going to count that. Because if you go past the border, you die very quickly. Snowy biome. I'm hoping it spawns us in either a... This is a woods biome. Okay. You get started with this basic little tutorial here, which tells you how to go through your day-to-day. I'm just going to go through, get some of the basics that are needed to progress forward with this. Now, there is a grace period within the game right as you start. It's just a few minutes. Those few minutes are important before zombies start to spawn in around you. So, let's see. Stone. Let's see. So what I'm breaking right now are bushes for pieces of wood, little bits of stone that you can find on the ground. The art textures are really heavily detailed in this game. If you press tab, it opens up the crafting menu to craft a bedroll. This is basically your sleeping bag. It also happens to be your respawn point. So if I die, which the way I'm going to play this game, if I die, I'm done. So next it wants me to place the bedroll, which I thought I crafted it. Oh, there it is. And you can pick it back up again. Okay. Let's see, do I have enough stones for it? I do. Okay. This first tool you get is probably the most important tool to start with. A stone axe. Okay, the reason I went around breaking all those other items is so I could quickly craft these as well. And then it wants me to make a wooden club, which I'm going to make this and then immediately scrap it. I am not a melee player. Now it wants plant fibers, feathers, and small stones. So, what is this thing? Ah, okay. Now that's helpful tooltips. I did not see those before. I think it's only part of the tutorial, so that's a new thing. Now I can make a bow. Now I can make some arrows. I'm gonna crouch to make myself a little harder to detect, and chip away at this stone. Hey, there's a trader right there. So, okay. Let's get some wood. Now, you'll notice that this is not exactly the fastest process for chopping down a tree. That's okay. As you get better and better tools over time, including everything up to and including power tools, chopping down trees comes very quick and easy. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make a couple more of those. Arrows are my friend. I prefer ranged combat in this game, primarily because of the rather nasty things that can happen if you find yourself... That wants me to upgrade. In trouble. Now, I've upgraded this block. See how it has 500 health? I could chop it down, and... Oh. I ran out of stones, And see how it's slowly taking damage? Eventually, it'll break. I heard a zombie nearby. Zombies make a lot of noise. It's really important to keep that in mind. Craft this campfire real fast. Alright. Yep. With that, I've now completed the tutorial and I've unlocked skill points. Skill points are super important. Now, what I would like to be able to do is get this right away. Having a forge right off the bat is extremely powerful and important, but it's also tricky. I think I can afford to spend some time getting some resources. So I'm going to get Miner 69er, which improves the speed in which you collect resources through mining, including chopping trees. I'm also going to go for the other perk next to it, which increases the resources you get while mining. Next, because I know it's probably the first mistake that everyone, including myself, makes, stamina, which is this blue bar right down here, is extremely important, even while collecting resources. So that's a very important point to have right there. For the rest, I think... living off the land is useful. If I save a point... Oh, here's also your... This thing is huge, so... I think I'll save that and deal with it when I get the chance to actually plan around it. So... next thing, scrap this. It was a level 1 wood axe. Stone axe. Now you can see I can make a level 2. Level 2 does more damage. It also will last longer. It has higher durability. Now, at the top of my screen, if I can get it lined up correctly, it is currently 8:22 a.m. on day 1. I need to keep an eye on that time, because time is extremely important in this game. If you find yourself out after 10 p.m., bad things happen. Also, you find yourself trying to get to your base, you now have a rough time period in which you know to get back. There you go. Just drop down that tree. Alright, so because we're so close, there's a trader right there. In this game, there are NPCs called traders. There are also zombies. NPCs are actual people that you can interact with and buy stuff from. In this case, he has a shop. So, he's not going to have anything I'm going to really be able to buy from him, but I can use this opportunity to actually look in the inventory to move around. But he'll have things I could sell, or things I could buy from him, and if I had things I could sell to him to get coins, which is what the cost here is.
I'd go broke with more customers like you.
And yes, they do sometimes shout rude things at you. Let's clean up my inventory just a little bit. I don't need this. Scrap that, because I don't have paper either. Keep that there. Okay. You can also loot the things you find in these traders. Which, bones aren't bad, bullet tips, maybe. If I try to hit this bus, that high-pitched noise tells me this area is invincible. Ooh, shotgun parts and herbal antibiotics. Now that's useful. Let's spend some time looking around in here, see if there's anything useful to go after. Level 2 axe, which I kind of already have. Brass candlestick. Brass is something kind of useful to keep in mind for the game. Brass is a very limited resource. Glue, more feathers. Cash, there we go. On day 1, I found a beaker. Okay, keeping that. That's a lot of animal fat, too. Okay. You can take Lucky Looter. This looks like someone was hanging around up here. Ooh, book pile. That's just a paper in. Alright, let's see what else he's got here. Oh. Bunch of stone, I like. Have anything?
Smells like dysentery.
Shelves. Oops, scrap that. Take the iron. One of the cool things you can do in this game is you can basically rob him blind and then sell stuff back to him. Hops. Bunch of stuff I don't necessarily need right off the bat, but I'm not going to have an issue with that. Okay. Now if I talk to him, let's sell you this cash. Actually, he gave me 13 for 10 cash. Wow. So, you can sell various things you collect to the trader. Unfortunately, my inventory is very full now. That's okay. Let's,
A sale is a sale, even if it's to a scumbag.
let's not
like
worry
you.
too much about it. Make more arrows, because those are going to be important. I'll eat up those feathers that were taking up space. And let's get out of here. Now, normally you could break these plates and harvest from them, but you can't because it's inside the trader. But blueberries are so useful. Okay. We are in what appears to be a nice, good-sized forest. If you press M, you can look at the map. And on that map, it'll tell you coordinates. This location is at roughly 35 positive, or 3,500 positive, 3,500 east, 3,300 north. That means that I'm somewhere in the northeast quadrant. Not exactly centrally located. Let's just see if we can run this direction and find anything interesting. Make a fiber hat. That'll save me some space. Don't need this, don't need this. Goldenrod's nice to have. That, okay. So, along the way of as I explore, I'm going to be looting things. Let's see, buckshots and iron. Okay, I'll take the iron. If you look out in here, you see these flowers, chrysanthemums. I've already got some goldenrod. These are really useful for making resources, basically. Food resources, mostly. So, in fact, the chrysanthemums later on, I will collect a bunch of them and make red tea. Which is probably the best early game source for water. What's this? This is basically just a little rotting corpse in the road. But if you break it, you get this thing called rotten flesh. That is extremely useful later down the line. I will want to collect every last bit of that I come across. Why? You use it in farming. Pretty much your fertilizer. A rad remover I will take. That's a nice mod to have. You can modify weapons and armor to give them additional effects. In the case of a rad remover, if you put it on a weapon, it'll mean that when the words are hard sometimes. The higher level zombies that you can encounter you'll basically do much more damage to them, and they will be weaker for it. Oops, I think I saw some feathers. Ha! First nest. An egg. Okay. And now we run into our first issue. See that little flashing item down near the bottom there? That means I'm encumbered. And also tells me I'm encumbered down here. I'm gonna counter this by completely missing the zombie that's walked out of the bushes at me. Now, this is the reason I say melee weapons aren't really needed, at least when you start. He hit me once and did 20 points of damage. Okay then, let's try an arrow. See, this is why I prefer to fight from distance. Oh, come on, dude. Behind him, you see that deer? I don't think this is gonna work. I'm gonna give it a shot. That is got a zombie right next to him. Well, that nice buck right there would normally have a good amount of meat on him. Nope, I didn't do enough damage to kill him. Did he die? Oh, he died. Must have caused a bleed. Now, I'm sneaking right now, so if I already hit that zombie, I'd hit him with 3.5 times damage. Okay, now he's mad. When they get low in health, they tend to run a bit like that. Okay. Ah, that's what happened. He ran into these wood spikes. I should be careful here. But as I melee him, I am getting bones, I'm getting animal fat, I'm getting leather, and meat. So, I think I know where I'm going to spend that extra point that I have. Pack Mule. This gives you 3 extra slots and will eliminate that encumbered. Yeah, it was a waste right now, but I think that's okay. So right now I'm, according to the compass, heading south. I'm just honestly heading in a general direction. I think I know roughly where I am on this map, because I've played this map before. Ooh, yes please. Pickaxe, a hammer, glue. There, okay. I don't want to deal with her right now. Okay. If I keep heading this way, I believe there's a relatively large town, and I think I can get there a little after noon. And if I set up nearby that, there's plenty of resource wolf. Okay. Fun little thing about this game, and you need to be extremely careful about it. There are wild animals still, not just zombies. They're not the only threat. That wolf, he would have killed me. So let's keep our distance. Now let's crouching run. Unlike zombies, wolves can run pretty dang fast. Chicken. I catch up to you. So, okay, there's a zombie on the roadway there. Let's just work our way around her. Why, you might ask, am I crafting these? Well, frankly, I need the arrows. They're too important of a resource not to collect a lot of early on. And it's worth the stamina to spend like this. Alright, let's just go in a straight line for a bit, see how far we can go. My inventory filled up a lot faster than I thought it would. Not hoping for. So, I've already traveled almost a kilometer, really. It's not too bad. Coming across this iron pickaxe early on, that was huge. That'll have some huge benefits later down the line that cannot be overstated. Okay. So there's this larger-esque town here. I don't really want to risk running through it though, because the more buildings around you, the more zombies there are. When you're running around in the wilderness, zombies spawn semi-randomly. But when you're in a town, there are specific places where they spawn in these structures. In fact, the developers programmed places where zombies spawn inside each structure. If you get too close, they can spawn in there. They won't interact with you until they detect you. And that's what I'm trying to be careful of. Oh, another trader. Okay, I do know exactly where I am. Let's just go to that trader. If he's got anything useful. This is my favorite trader in terms of like the layout of the building, because it looks like a medieval style fort. It is really practical for a zombie apocalypse. This one also is the one that has some hidden secrets. Yeah. You figure this one out pretty quickly. Ladders in this game are several orders of annoyance. Down here is, I believe... I will take that. Don't need the paintbrush. Chemistry station. I'm gonna sacrifice the goldenrod for this. Those are antibiotics. Antibiotics are very nice to have. Trust me on that one. Okay. Okay. Hey, shovel. Okay. Cement, don't really need right now, and I can get that later. So, okay, I've got level 2 iron tools with the exception of an axe. Just from looting a couple of traders and some cars. So this is one of the ways the game can allow you to progress pretty quickly. You will very, very quickly find cool stuff like this. There's a fort over there. Put in there. Okay. And you can build these structures like this in the game is so... the intricacy in which you can build things is so nice. Almost unparalleled, to be perfectly honest. Before I go talk to him, I'm going to loot the cabinets. Water. Jar. Coffee maker. It's got coffee in it. Okay. That'll be used for later down the line.
I'm kinda busy.
I will definitely take both of those because I can sell them to him. Pot? No pot. Pot? Please? Nope. Charred meat. And a rifle. Okay. I don't have the ammunition for it. And some vitamins. Okay. See what I meant about looting in this place? There's even more stuff you can loot from upstairs here. I'm basically robbing this guy blind, then I'm going to turn around and sell a bunch of this stuff back to him. Really? One rotten flesh in each of those? Books. Nope. In here, nope. Bookshelves are an interesting place where you can find rare skills, basically. Cowboy hat mod. That's not bad, actually. I've pretty much looted this place clean, so let's go down and sell a few things to him. As you can see, I'm encumbered by 4 again, so... I'm gonna sell you this, which apparently gets me a nice boost. I don't need the steroids, because those are used for, you know, melee combat. Now I have 82. Let's see if there's anything I can I didn't really hold out much hope of being able to afford much from this guy. They are usually fairly expensive traders. 15,000 for a chemistry station, for example. He has a bottle of acid. That'll be important. I'll have to remember that. Bottle of acid is used for some of the more important things later down the line, such as making wheels as well as making a chemistry set. Here's his expensive stuff. I can't really afford any of this, so. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's about time you bought something.
I can make this. Okay, let's drop that. Parts. Anything else worth drop right now? Chilly when I eventually get hungry. Okay. With that said, though, it's 1 o'clock and I need to cover some ground. Oh, hello. Do not know how I missed him. Okay. So I'm just basically gonna head due south, collecting whatever I happen to come across along the way. Got plenty of wood and stone, so I don't mind taking the time to make those stone arrows. Did I pass another one? Birds' nests are an amazing resource early on. As the game progresses, you can build up and collect more and more valuable resources. Take a moment, chop down this tree. Wood is something that I'm going to have to collect a lot of as I work my way. Okay, there's a fat guy over there. Right there. I'll get into the different types of zombies here shortly, but as you start collecting and advancing in the game, you'll use resources faster and faster, and you'll use more and more of them. So, working your way up and building yourself up is important. So, what makes him different compared to the other guys is he has a lot more health. I think the other guys all have like maybe 120 health, and he's got like, ooh, stump. He's got like 200 health, something like that. Now, stumps are a good place to chop down wood because even though they're relatively small, you have a chance of finding honey. Honey is a food source. It will also cure infection, or at least alleviate the symptoms of infection. It is something worthwhile to look at. If you get an infection in the game, it will kill you over time. This game is very big on the status conditions that will affect your character. Ah, see, just got some honey. Cure infection, 5%. So, some frame shapes. Let's make 50. Yeah, I can afford to do 100 of those. Okay. Just continue heading south. And yes, you can craft while you move, so that's something to keep in mind. I think I see the large town I was heading towards in the distance. The cool thing about this game is it loads everything, but only starts like simulating mobs and creatures within a certain radius around you, with some notable exceptions, and those I will get to later on. Rabbit there. Oh, and my axe broke. Simple enough. Repair it using one of the stones that I picked up along the way. That's pretty much all there is to it. Keep crafting these arrows. Put myself up. And I'm just going to start collecting wood as I go along the way here. Now the reason why I'm collecting all this wood is when I find a place to finally set up, I'm going to need a fortified. At least for the first night. I see her. If you look at the yellow bar on the lower left-hand side of my screen, that's my sneak indicator. It's about to go skyrocket. The tree makes a bunch of noise. She heard me, but she didn't quite know that I'm here. That's okay. She does, though. Sneaking up behind me, huh? It is one of the things you have to keep in mind when playing this game. Keep your head on a constant swivel. It may seem like I'm taking a lot of time here to just stop and chop down things and whatnot, but I am going to need a lot of wood when I do eventually set up a location for a base. So, yep, I know where I am. That's a Dishong Tower. It's a dungeon in the game. That building is like 15 or 16 stories tall, and there are a couple hundred zombies in it. So this game takes a different approach to dungeons. Major places where people would work, like hospitals, factories, or in that case, a very large office tower, will have a lot of zombies in them, but a lot of loot at the end. So it's a very substantial risk-reward calculation you have to take into account when you approach places like that. That said, dungeons have final bosses. And as you can see, that tower is quite tall. The final boss of that dungeon is very difficult. Hey! My stamina! With that, it's time to eat. Let's use this chili, which will give me 15 food, which, because I got that effect, that means I'm at 50. 5-0. This, and that'll give me the can, which I can scrap. We'll just keep collecting some resources as we move along. So I think there's a hospital next to the Dishong Tower, so there's a couple of good-sized dungeons in this city over here. Just by themselves. Whoop! Zombie. Head this way towards the mountain over there. While it would be nice to have a base in the mountains, the more rough the terrain, the more difficult it is to get around and the longer it takes to get places. But with a town this large close by, I mean, I'll be able to go in and start looting almost immediately. So what am I doing on wood? 750. Ooh, I need to get more. Let's take a little bit of time and just chop down some trees. The reason why I need all the wood is that when I start upgrading the blocks in order to create kind of a little starter base. Oh, and the axe broke. It's going to be that much more important to have a good supply so I don't run out while I'm working on stuff. Upgrading blocks is also going to be a major source of experience right off the bat because, well, frankly, you've seen I'm not much block for combat, let alone melee. So eventually I'll get good enough with my arrows that, or my skills with the bow actually, as I level everything up and get better bows, that it won't be so much of a concern, but starting out is something to keep in mind. With this game, resource management is big. Make sure that you don't run out of your food, your water, things like that. I've been collecting these birds' nests because they both give me the feathers, but they also give me these eggs. Which I can eat these. So, maybe I have a food source. So that one can of chili is not going to be all that I'll get. Plus, I got that buck early on, so that was a break. That's an unusually high number of reception bar. Okay. Drink some water. Aha, there he is. Oh, there's another one. Okay. This is a crawler. Crawlers are pretty easy. Ouch. Okay. See, he doesn't have any legs. But 400 XP. So, that was worth it. Right, last tree, and then I'll continue around the side of the town. Oh, there's a bird's nest there that I missed. Okay, there's a guy coming down from the hills over there. The only downside to heading towards uneven terrain is that it does mean creating a defense is a little bit trickier. That's not too big of an issue. 1300, okay. Let's head this way for a bit. I'll just keep grabbing birds' nests as I go. Got a good supply of stones for now. Oop, there. Let's just run by this guy. You can move pretty fast in the game when you need to. When I mentioned I didn't want them running during the day, now you know why. That would be insanity. Let's do that. Next thing I'm looking for along here is a little bit of iron or something for me to start mining into to get some iron. Oh, because if I put barbed wire around my base, it'll make it that much easier to defend at night. Alright, this is already off to an awesome start, to be perfectly honest. And there I go. I just jinxed it, didn't I? Let's watch. It's going to be completely jinxed. But in all seriousness, the game isn't that tricky to start with. As you start getting higher and higher level, oops, another crawler. Let's just kind of evade this guy. That's the bird's nest. Did not mean to do that with my camera, but oh well. And keep moving. Eventually, I'll find something along here. I see a stump. Chance it's more honey. Pay very careful attention to the sounds around you, because I just heard a squealing sound like a dog, which tells me there's a wolf nearby. Wolves will I'm hungry again. Wolves will sometimes fight zombies. Like they don't particularly care for each other. I can afford to use one. Food. Chicken up there. Okay. You just have to keep your head on a swivel, your ears on a swivel. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Ooh. I don't have the inventory space for coal. I don't know why I did that. Oh well. Did it now. This is coal. This is one of the ore rocks that you can find around the world. Coal is extremely useful as just a general fuel source. You use it to cook your smelt your items in your forge. You can use it to cook items in a campfire. It's in general all around that just nice and great. Underneath each of these rocks, though, there's usually a little deposit like that. Nine times out of 10, I don't need to go. 9 times out of 10, the deposit will go down substantially further than just the surface level here. But I'm only going to get a little bit from the surface right now. You can see, though, it's getting me a good bit of XP. But what am I doing? I have this thing. That was smart. Totally smart. Anything in here? Just some stuff to scrap. Okay. As you can see with this, I do a lot more damage per strike, but I use more stamina. So higher level tools do give you more bang for your buck, but they are more expensive to use in the long run. That said, each little hit of this is getting me a nice chunk of coal as I go. Just giving a chance for some stamina to regenerate. Break this down, then I'm just going to get moving again. Nice XP boost. Nice chunk of a resource that I probably wouldn't have had right off the bat. And of course I'm low on hunger again. Oh, well, I can deal with the reduced stamina total. It's not a big deal. That's what that orange level there means. It just means that I'm reduced on my stamina total. It will eventually turn red, which means problems. But I have enough of these that I can actually... Okay. And here's the one I was looking for. Iron. Iron is extremely important, and I'm going to use this to make the first of my base defenses. If I drink this coffee, it'll give me that little cup on the side there, which means my stamina regeneration is increased. I can go for a bit longer. Okay. This was the last piece of the puzzle I was hoping to be able to get before I found a place to set up at. A nice, good, healthy supply of iron will mean that I can make barbed wire fences, which means I can put up initially some basic defenses around starter base. Doesn't need much more than this. See, I'm already getting a couple hundred, almost 300. There you go, 300. There's other boulders over there as well that I can mine as well. Eye on him. Now, the reason I was wanting to look at that forge recipe is that a forge would be actually really quite useful for first night. think I'll be okay without it. That meant I could smelt down some iron to make iron arrows. Better ammunition right off the bat would not be a bad thing. Not at all. So I'm going to hang out here until the effect from that coffee has run down. I think that's the best use of my time and resources here. Okay, there we go. That'll get me a not insignificant amount of iron from all this. As you're seeing this, it's me mining into the world. Yes, you can mine directly into the world, and even if you wanted to, you can go all the way down to what they call the bedrock layer. Ah, shoot! That broke. Oh, there goes my axe. So, in order to repair that, unlike the stone axe in my hand, I'm going to need a repair kit. I don't have the resources for a repair kit, so that axe is broken for the time being. Gave me a nice little boost from the start, though. But yeah, nice little boost. Nothing to scoff at. Definitely nothing to scoff at all. And the stamina regeneration bonus is gone, so once this little... Oh, there goes my axe. Okay, I guess I'm done. Actually, I forgot how fast the thing repairs. Okay, now that's... Drop that. And let's keep moving. So I've got iron, I've got wood. This is actually turning into a nice good bit of time. Grab a little bit more wood, and I think I'll set up somewhere just down over here. I do know, because this is the world where I played something on the order of like 40 hours already on. There's a desert on the other side there, so having access to multiple biomes gives you access to multiple resources, which is never a bad thing. Let's make a break for it. Run in a straight line for a while. I've got ways to go before I circle this city. Get around this city though. And one of the things this game has is procedural generation. No two maps are alike based off of the seed you enter in, just like Minecraft. Unlike Minecraft, however, that's tent. Not seen this before. Oh. Okay, keeping my distance. Yeah, keeping my distance from that. Unlike Minecraft, though, things will generate in somewhat of a predictable pattern. Okay, here's my first stronger enemy. This is a biker. Bikers have a lot of health, have a lot of armor, and they hit hard. Every so often, if you hit them on the helmet, which is made of metal, makes a metallic sound. Yeah. This is why I don't like melee. At least at the start, because it sucks. At least with him. Oh, nope, he's running. Okay. Oh, that missed. After all that, he still has a ton. See, but I just got 750 experience for fighting him. Okay, there's another guy over there. Okay, let's head this way. Okay. That was fun. Let's not do it again. No. I made these. Oh, last ammo. These with blocks. And see, I can see the next biome transition up there. That's the desert. Okay. Oh, a fat guy. So most of the zombies you'll encounter early on are either crawlers or shamblers like this guy. Occasionally you'll find the bigger, stronger guys like the biker I just fought, or in the frozen biome anyway, some of the lumberjacks. The fat guy right there, he just has a lot of health. But you won't really encounter any of the much harder enemies until later down the line. And by harder, I mean they are significantly harder. As with many things, they scale with your level. Okay. That cricket sound is to tell me that night is coming. So I need to pick a place and set up base. So that's okay. For that, I'm going to go out here into the desert, and I'm going to look for some aloe. There we go. So this you can use to make aloe cream. Basic healing resource. There's a coyote over there. Coyotes are aggressive. It's like wolves. Unlike wolves, coyotes are reasonably easy to kill. Go away. Okay, come on. Okay. Now, we can get some meat from him and a bit more leather. Alright, I was collecting aloe before I got distracted. Let's set up in the desert for the time being. And find a nice little wash, or actually this place right here looks pretty good. So the desert has its own little challenges to it, but nothing that significant. It is by far and away not the worst biome to set up in. Say it's arguably one of the better ones to start out in, because you get access to easy healing material resources right off the bat. That's just me though. Okay, this area is flat. Just wish it didn't have. Okay. A reasonably flat area though. Okay. Okay, they are coming in from all sides. Holy cow. See, now he's running. Imagine them running all the time. That's what sprint all the time would have meant if I had said that. Alright, dude, I need this space, so I'm gonna kill you. Only downside to the desert, vultures. They will randomly attack you. Sandstorm. The game does have immersive weather, so trying to replicate actually Arizona. So if you live in Arizona, you get sandstorms a lot, let me know. Okay, come on, really? Okay. Let's pick this flat area. Flat is best to start in, because that means it'll be a lot easier for you to just build and plan your defenses around it. Okay. I'm not even counting on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go 11. Oh, jeez. Did I lose count again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. What's there? Okay. With that, this is our starting base. Barbed wire fences. Okay. 10 on the side. Can I make 40 of these? I can. I think I can get away with the use of wood. So, yeah. Let's start with those. Upgrade the corners first, always. Because the corners are hardest to access afterwards, which I just... So upgrading blocks gives you a huge amount of experience. Start out with, anyway. Okay. Now the reason why you upgrade the corners first is so that way they can be upgraded before you move on from them. That way you don't have to worry too much. Starting with a 2-block high wall, I think is enough to get me through the first night. Also, I have barbed wire fences being produced, so if I put those around the perimeter, I can make sure that I get plenty of stuff taken care of. So before I do that though, let's clear out anything that would be problematic along the edges here. Oh, really? Oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to... Okay. I can just pick these back up before they're upgraded and then put back up afterwards. Let's put corners in here. So, and with that, we have our first starter base. May not seem like much, but it's a start. Now, while these fences are being made, I'm just going to shift things around in here. And I'm going to start by putting the barbed wire fences. Now, it's 11 on a side, and I only made 4 of these, so I'll have to make more later on. Barbed wire fences don't do a lot of damage, but they have something of an advantage in that they slow the zombies down. The zombies will run into them, they'll slow down, and makes them much easier to hit with, you know, arrows and projectiles and things of that nature. I place these along here. Some starting defenses. It's not that bad of an idea. Alright, I'm gonna need to make a couple more. I'm pretty sure I miscalculated that. Let's upgrade these before he gets too far along. See, what he's trying to do is he's trying to break through the weakest part to get to me. He knows I'm here though, but later on they won't be able to get to me. Oh, looks like he broke through something. See? Hop down here, grab the stone arrows out of him, and then hop back up. Those. Okay. With that said, let's go in here, make some chests, or at least a chest, so I can store things. That now I'm going to be able to actually have a practical place to put all my, frankly, junk that I've been picking up along the way. So let's throw the stuff that I don't need on me right now in here. And we will make a campfire. Since I made this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Wait, did I really do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay. For some reason there, for a second, I thought I made this an even number on either side. Now, to start with, I can make some boiled eggs, and I think I will. Let's boil water. Oops. Let's put fuel in here first. Now we'll make the water. While that's cooking, because that's going to make the water, I can make some eggs later on. Let's go around and upgrade these frame shapes. This is what I needed all the wood for. Start with, this will be a very basic base, but hey, it'll keep the zombies out. And as you can see, my experience level is skyrocketing. You get experience very quickly while building up your defenses. Now, will this hold off a horde? No. Very unlikely. It'd be helpful if I press the right word. Right letter. Where did I put my eggs? Eggs on me. Actually, could I, before I get too far into that one, could I make the Master Chef? Yes, I can make bacon and eggs with that. Okay. This... Boom. I need a pot for that, don't I? And I don't have the pot for that either. Ah, shoot. That's unfortunate. This means that day 2, I need to go find a pot. That's okay. As with many things with this game, there's a lot of variation to how you can approach things. Approach a problem? Oh? Some players, they just like to get more guns. Horde Night approaches, more guns the better. Me, I like to engineer my way through things. So this starting base, yeah, it's nothing special. But trust me, it will be a bit more later on, actually. I just realized I made a mistake. I messed up something before I... oh well. Now, the time shows after 10 p.m., which... that's something important to keep in mind. Alright. I'm gonna break this, and then underneath this... where I'm going to put my land claim block. If you show the boundaries on that, you see this little green force field here? This is my land claim. That means that zombies cannot spawn within that radius. Okay. Campfire I just made in there. On. Have no plant fibers on me. Got rid of them all. Oops. Oh well. Actually, I'll just toss it all in there. Aloe. Let's make all the aloe cream. Use it to heal up when I get hurt. Unfortunately, this is probably the more boring part of things, so let's instead spend some time engineering a bit, okay? Frame shapes, let's make another 50 or so. Make 75, actually. So we can do yet another layer to this wall, which I think is something we're going to want to do. Higher isn't always better, but it does have its advantages. So... the main reason why is that you can... use the taller wall. Okay, I don't have any ammunition for that rifle. Why do I need that rifle on me? That there. Let's put those there. Clean up my inventory a little bit while I'm here. I definitely don't need these on me. Sand. So I could use the clay soil to make some cobblestone. In fact, that's what I think I'll do. Okay. I make these corner pieces cobblestone earlier on, I mean I won't have to worry about upgrading them later down the line. Now you're wondering, you can only jump one block at a time, how are you going to get out? That's okay. It's not a big deal, really. I hope I have enough wood to get around the edge here. Oh well. This XP, I'm wanting to get to the next level so I can start showing you guys what talents you can play with. So one of the things with this game is as you build yourself up, you can decide what type of character you want to be. You can go full on, there you go, level 3. Robotics master, engineering with electricity and all that stuff type of character if you want. Entirely up to you. Okay. Now, for this space, in order to make what I'm going to do work, I'm going to have to add 2 more frame shapes here. Do I need to upgrade them? I don't know if I have the wood just yet. So, but in each of these corners, I'm going to add in the same thing, but just rotated 90 degrees. Okay. Then if you press and hold R, you can switch to the shapes. And now you see why I, as a Minecraft builder, rather enjoy this game. You can pick so many different options. So I'm going to go for like something simple. Get a nice little staircase on one side. Yeah, and then I'm just going to put one of these in each corner. Oh. Is it super necessary? No. Fun? Yes. And I'm not going to upgrade these just yet. Okay. Down to 98 of those. So let's do. Convert these back to the standard shapes. Place a block right there. Now that block is attached to the side here. It's really important to maintain and understand attachment points. And we'll cover those as we start doing and building more complicated structures over time. I'm just doing the bottom corner for now on these. But if I point down there, there we go. I've upgraded the corner. Cobblestone. Go around to each of these corners and do the same thing. So. Cobblestone can take a beating. Ooh. Okay. Right there. Oh, I think he saw me. Okay. Oh, he didn't see me. That was close, though. Okay. I'm just gonna hang out in here for a little bit. So, one of the things that I have here is soil. Now, I'm gonna replace this floor. One, I don't really like the default texture. Oh, he heard me. And this is why I wanted to be high up on the wall. Because... oh, that went right in his butt. That's running. Okay. So, out and about now that it's nighttime, we've got quite a few zombies. There's a fat guy over there. We've got a couple more shamblers over there. That guy might be heading this way. Let's be careful. Craft a few more cobblestone rocks now that I've got some more clay. Part of the reason why I wanted to dig this out as well, so I can get some of that clay to make more cobblestone rocks. At least if I upgrade the corners, that's something of an advantage in these early... I went through stamina really fast. Because my hunger bar is basically almost non-existent. What's my hunger at right now? Oh, there's my character. This is your character screen. Look at your stats. And my food is at 21. Okay. I need to fix that. I can get 50 with the eggs, but I have to get more eggs. But I'm in the desert. Getting eggs is not difficult, so... bump this up a bit. This means in addition to getting a pot, seems to have bought me a little bit of time. Oh, there goes my water bar. So resource management is really important early game. Just finished digging out this pit. I'll place down the frames in there. Okay. Alright, and then this will allow me to upgrade the corners fully, so I won't have to worry about them, and then I can upgrade the rest as time goes on. Just like Minecraft, if you're crouching, sometimes you can get away with doing some weird stuff along the edges. This one. But 120 XP per upgrade for the cobblestone rocks, that is an awesome amount of experience to get this early on. Placing the frame shapes can be a little fuddly sometimes too. That's probably the only thing that... oops, I'm out of cobblestone. Okay, that's one of the zombie types that I was most concerned about. Saw how it was walking on all fours? That's called a spider zombie. Spider zombies can jump. Don't know where it went. There it is, okay. Important factoid, they can jump 3 blocks. At least the lowest level that you can encounter them. Later on they can jump much higher. Okay. With that, I think I'm done upgrading the outside for the moment. I have 98 wood left, which means I could probably go around and upgrade virtually everything I have inside for the moment. That might be what might just be what I do. Nice good boost of XP. Helped spend the time. Now, this is why choosing the 90-minute day has its disadvantage. tokens. Because now I'm... Oh, there goes all my wood. I'm kind of at the mercy of what I'm able to do now. That's okay. Let me spend some time fiddling around with my inventory because that's actually something I do all the time. Doesn't matter, of course, anyway. I'll keep the tokens. So the Duke's Casino tokens are the main in-game currency. These are what you use the trader. So 82's unfortunately not that much. So, let's spend a bit of time talking about the stats in the game. So, you have multiple major skill trees. You've got your perception, which is what you would use for if you're wanting to be a sniper, if you're wanting to use something like a rifle or explosives, but it also contains a number of useful things like getting through landmines, for example. Not what I was wanting to do in there. You can slip through traps. You can pick up landmines later down the line. You can track animals. You can build explosives in there. Also, you get some very useful perks for just general survival and scavenging. Each of these major skill trees has its survival and its utility aspects, not to mention its combat ones. Strength. Oh boy, let's go around. Let's do as much damage as we can. I know I've pumped pretty much all of my skill points so far into this one. That's because these are so useful so early on. I mean, trust me, I wouldn't have been able to build up this defense without having at the very least Mother Load. Fortitude. This is where things get a little bit more interesting, and I think Gather is my next one. This is what you get when you harvest crops from the ground. When you break a flower, when you break potatoes in the ground, for example, you'll get double from those. So, I mean, aloe, for example, I went around and broke, over a dozen aloe, and I got one each. If I did that after buying this one, I would get 2. That's actually a very powerful perk to have. Agility. This is where we get archery from. And actually, this is where archery is at its best. So, you can also do various athletic perks in here and stealth. Finally, intellect, probably the most overpowered of the skills here. You could literally build your own electric defenses with robotic turrets defending you and generators running the whole thing. This is really quite powerful. Much of that is locked behind advanced engineering, which this is the one I was debating about getting earlier on. No, this is one of my next major skill points, because getting blacksmith would mean I could start making better arrows. Also, this is where you start making vehicles. You make everything from a bicycle all the way up to, motorcycles, a truck. You can even make a helicopter. And that's all locked in here. Now this book, these are things that you can find along the way to help boost your levels and boost your skills, as well as get general perks all around. This is something that takes time to collect all of these. A lot of time. Up in here we also have the character screen, which you briefly saw a bit of this. Including my character, which, yes, rocking the beard. Not nearly that long in real life, but almost. Got my stats in here. I've not died, fortunately. And my current stats, so things are okay for that. This is also where you equip items like armor and other stuff in there. You can also look at your different perks right now. Since I'm a new player, I've got the death XP penalty protection. Normally when you die, it would take you would have to earn a quarter of a level's worth of XP in order to begin earning experience again. You get a penalty. This one negates that, but at level 6 it goes away. Level 3. And I'm hungry. My maximum stamina has been reduced by 13. This gets bigger the lower my hunger gets. Next we have the map, which you've seen this briefly. This is the path I took. Initially started up here, followed this road. and this road. So I'm going to show you one of the first cool tricks you can do. I basically spawned right next to this one, which was a trader. You right click on it, you can save it as a quick waypoint, which just drops a flag there, or as a permanent waypoint, and then you can choose these icons for it. This is the one I use for traders, and you can name it. I like to name them, especially in a random generated world like this, with 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth, because sometimes you will encounter multiples. So let's place that one there, which that's a trader rect. And this one right here, which this is a... I love this trader's outpost, but this is a trader Hue. There are a total of 5 traders, and they all go by the brand name of Trader Joel, like the grocery store Trader Joe's, only Joel, including Trader Joel himself. And they all have slightly different layouts that they operate in. Now, if you look right here, you see how you have the transition between the desert biome that I set up my base in and the forest biome I was running around in for a while. You can see the different resources are in these biomes if you zoom in a bit. So if I look right here, this little red dot is an iron deposit. White ones, that's nitrate powder. See, black is coal, blue is water, so, and if you keep looking you'll find more and more. In the desert though, there's a unique resource that is only found in the desert, and that is oil shale. Oil shale is this blue thing right here. There's a couple more over here, right here. Oil shale is used for making gasoline. A bunch more over here. Wow, there's a lot over there actually. Finally, there's lead. Which lead is the one that I overlooked, but lead is right there, gray. That gray color. You use lead to make bullets. You use nitrate powder mixed with coal to make gunpowder, and that's how you make ammunition. You technically could have almost unlimited ammunition in this game. I say almost because brass is your one limiting factor with the amount of ammunition that you can get a hold of. You can mine almost an unlimited amount of lead. You can mine an almost unlimited amount of nitrate powder, coal, iron, oil shale. You cannot mine an unlimited amount of brass. You can only loot brass. Pretty important thing to keep in mind. I'm going to throw the beaker into here. Beaker is how you unlock scientific recipes. The grill is how you unlock items to be grilled in there, and the pot's how you unlock most cooking stuff. So throw that in there. You've got various quests you can do in the game, and there's layers on them. So this is the quests I took and I followed in order to actually unlock my skill points. And here, all the different little tips you can put in your journal. I'm just gonna flip through and clear most of these because many of them don't really matter. So this is the one that's the complicated one. The game's story is not fully fleshed out yet, so we don't fully know where things are going or what it means to be a citizen of White River. So, eventually we will, but the game's still in its early days. I mean, this is Alpha 20. Sneak up here onto the walls, take a peek. There's that spider zombie over there, a couple more zombies. Now the reason why I feel comfortable doing this is if you look at the time, it's almost 4 a.m. 4 a.m. special time. Okay. 4 a.m. is when the ooh, there's some good cliffs over there. Is when night turns to day. So between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., that's nighttime. That's when zombies are at their most dangerous. So anyway, as it's about to switch towards 4 p.m. though, I think it's time to call this stream for it. Or call this stream. We've gotten a lot done. We have a nice base set up. I think the final thing I'm going to do, right next to the campfire. Oh, you. There we go. I'm gonna put my torch. And with that, everyone, thank you for tuning in. It is very much appreciated. This has been Wolf. Have a good night.